Mindfulness brings peace and inner knowledge. These Zen stories will open your mind. Richard Clarke helps you deepen your practice. Watch this video for more. Today, I'll read more stories from 101 Zen stories that I found in Zen Flesh, Zen Bones by Paul Reps. This was the first book that I had read with spiritual content, and I read it when I was about 22. This week are stories that illustrate Zen practice. The first is called Muddy Road. Tanzan and Ikaido were once traveling together down a muddy road. A heavy rain was still falling. Coming around a bend, they met a lovely girl in a silk kimono and sash, unable to cross the intersection. "Come on, girl," said Tanzan at once, lifting her in his arms. He carried her over the mud. Ikaido did not speak again until that night when they reached a lodging temple. When he could no longer restrain himself, he said, "We monks don't go near females," he told Townsend, "especially not young and lovely ones. It's dangerous. Why did you do that?" He told, "Why did you do that?" "I left the girl there," said Tanzin. "Are you still carrying her?" Mindfulness teaches to experience what is there and then let it go when it passes. This story illustrates this approach and what happens when you keep carrying something after it's gone. The next story is Every Minute Zen. Zen students are with their masters for at least 10 years before they presume to teach others. Nanin was visited by Tenno, who, having passed his apprenticeship, had become a teacher. The day happened to be rainy, so Tenno wore wooden clogs and carried an umbrella. After greeting him, Nanin remarked, "I suppose you left your wooden clogs in the vestibule. I want to know if your umbrella is on the right or the left side of the clogs." Tenno, confused, had no instant answer. He realized that he was unable to carry his Zen every minute. He became Nanin's pupil, and he studied 6 more years to accomplish his every minute Zen. Now, every minute Zen is something we can do in our own life. It's a skill that can be practiced, and then it'll become a habit. With every minute Zen, you find your mind will become much quieter and you'll be much more in the present moment. The opposite of every minute Zen is living in memories or plans or fears about the future. The next story is how grass and trees become enlightened. During the Kamkura period, Shinkan studied Tendai 6 years and then studied Zen 7 years and then went to China and contemplated Zen for 13 years more. When he returned to Japan, many desired to interview him and ask obscure questions. But when Shinkan received visitors, which was infrequently, he seldom answered their questions. One day, a 50-year-old student of enlightenment said to Shinkan, I have studied the Tendai school of thought since I was a little boy, but one thing in it I cannot understand. Tendai claims that even the grass and trees will become enlightened. To me, this seems very strange. Of what use is it to discuss how grass and trees become enlightened? Asked Shinkan. The question is how you yourself can become so. Did you ever consider that? I never thought of it in that way, marveled the old man. Then go home and think it over, finished Shinkan. The point of this story is something that all of you know. The way to learn about meditation is to actually meditate. It is a matter of your own direct experience, not what you think about it, not what you learn about it. These can help you direct your attention when you meditate, but they're not a substitute for the actual experience. The last story is a little longer. The name of it is The Taste of Banzo's Sword. Mataguro Yagyu was the son of a famous swordsman. His father, believing that his son's work was too mediocre to anticipate mastership, disowned him. So Matajuro went to Mount Fuha and there found the famous swordsman Banzo. But Banzo confirmed the father's judgment. You wish to learn swordsmanship under my guidance? Asked Banzo. You cannot fulfill the requirements. But if I work hard, how many years will it take me to become a master? Persisted the youth. The rest of your life, replied Banzo. I cannot wait that long, explained Matajuro. I'm willing to pass through any hardship if only you will teach me. I'll become your devoted servant. How long might it be? Oh, maybe 10 years, Banzo relented. My father is getting old, and soon I must take care of him, continued Matajuro. If I work far more intensely, how long would it take me? Oh, maybe 30 years, said Banzo. Why is that? Asked Matajuro. First you say 10, now 30 years. I will undergo any hardship to master this art in the shortest time. Well, said Banzo, in that case you will have to remain with me for 70 years. A man in such a hurry as you are to get results seldom learns quickly. Very well, declared the youth, understanding at last that he was being rebuked for impatience. I agree. Matajuro was told never to speak of fencing and never to touch a sword. He cooked for his master, washed the dishes, made his bed, cleaned the yard, cared for the garden, all without a word of swordsmanship. 3 years passed. Still Matajuro labored on. Thinking of his future, he was sad. He had not even begun to learn the art to which he had devoted his life. One day, Matajuro was washing a pan, and he discovered if he got it really clean, he could see the reflection of his face. After that, he had much greater zeal with washing pots and pans. Soon after, one day Banzo crept up behind him and gave him a terrific blow with a wooden sword. The following day, when Madajuro was cooking, Banzo again sprang upon him unexpectedly. He said, "Now you are ready." After that, day and night, Madajuro had to defend himself from unexpected thrusts. Not a moment passed in any day that he did not have to think about the taste of Banzo's sword. He learned so rapidly, he brought smiles to the face of his master. Madajuro became the greatest swordsman in the land. And so only when Madajuro let go of his old ideas and ambitions and could lose himself in what he was doing was he ready. The more he wanted it, the further away it was. Now, what can you learn from this story of a swordsman? You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.